Diplomatic TV. I am Ikechi Tejere. Here are our top stories. Tinubu says his administration building a Nigeria that works for all. Idris urges federal government to elevate Agungun Fishing Festival as global tourism jewel. ADC denies INEC confirmation of state chairman. FIRS clarifies, says no separate TIN needed for bank accounts. UK doctor quits surgery midway for sexual encounter with nurse. PSG stay perfect. Ethan Mbappe steals spotlight with dramatic winner for Lille. Now to the news in full. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has reaffirmed his administration's commitment to building a Nigeria that works for everyone. Wide shot of Catholic bishops seated at the plenary in Ikotekpene dissolved to close up of SGF George Akume at the podium, speaking at the second plenary meeting of the Catholic Bishops' Conference of Nigeria in Ikotekpene, Akwa Ibom State. The president, represented by Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Senator George Akume, said bold reforms are underway to stabilize the economy, attract investment, and deliver long-term benefits to Nigerians. President Tinubu urged the church to continue supporting government programs, assuring that social investment schemes would leave no one behind. Also speaking, Senate President Godswill Akpabio appealed to Nigerians for patience, stressing that the government's economic reforms will soon yield prosperity. He likened nation building to raising a mighty cathedral, stone by stone, hand by hand. Akwa Ibom State Governor Pastor Umo Eno praised the Catholic Church's role in advancing democracy and social justice, noting his government's interventions to lift vulnerable people out of poverty. The plenary, attended by Catholic bishops from across Nigeria, the Apostolic Nuncio, members of the National Assembly, and thousands of worshippers, ended with a call for renewed faith and stronger partnership between church and states. Kebbi State Governor Nasir Idris has appealed to the federal government to reposition the historic Agungun International Fishing and Cultural Festival as a centerpiece of Nigeria's tourism and blue economy drive. The festival, which began in 1934, is Africa's most famous traditional fishing contest, attracting thousands of participants and tourists from across the world. Presenting the paper at the National Institute for Policy and Strategic Studies in Jos, Governor Idris, represented by his deputy, Senator Umar Tafida, outlined measures to unlock the festival's full potential, including the establishment of an independent management agency and digital marketing campaigns to boost global visibility. He called on the NTDC to place the festival on Nigeria's official tourism calendar and urged the Ministry of Arts, Culture and Creative Economy to complete the abandoned permanent festival arena. Governor Idris emphasized that the Agungun Fishing Festival is more than a cultural showcase, describing it as a strategic tool for job creation, fisheries development, cultural diplomacy, and international partnerships. Nigeria prepares to bid farewell to one of its finest military officers and statesmen, Major General Paul Ufoma Omu, who passed away at the age of 84. General Omu, a former military governor of the southeastern state and member of the Armed Forces Ruling Council, will be buried on Saturday, November 29th in his hometown, Ibide, Delta State. The funeral program will span over a week, beginning November 20th with a service of songs in Abuja and concluding with a Thanksgiving service on November 30th in Ibide. A broad-based burial committee has been inaugurated, chaired by former Delta State SSG Comrade Ovozure Macaulay, with Ven Honorable Augustine Aziakbono Ovie as secretary. The ceremonies will honor Omu's enduring legacy as a military strategist, statesman, and community leader who championed governance, policy reform, and Isoko unity. You're watching our daily news roundup. We'll go for a short break. On the other side, more news stories to come.
Don't miss out on exciting news, events, and more. Stay connected by following us on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram at Atlantic Media and TV.
Welcome back. The African Democratic Congress has refuted claims that the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) has confirmed and released a list of its state chairmen across Nigeria's 36 states and the Federal Capital Territory. In a statement on Sunday, ADC spokesperson Bolaji Abdullahi said INEC had neither officially nor unofficially released any list of party chairmen. He explained that the ratification of state leadership is an internal party matter guided strictly by its constitution, stressing that INEC only recognizes lists submitted through proper channels after due diligence. The spokesman also urged members to remain vigilant against misinformation, reiterating the party's commitment to internal democracy and discipline. The clarification comes as the ADC grapples with internal disputes, including a leadership tussle involving former Senate President David Mark, recently recognized by INEC as national chairman, and ongoing court proceedings challenging the move. The party insists no such validation has been made, describing the reports as fake news designed to cause confusion. The ADC leadership says it will continue to safeguard the integrity of its structures while resisting attempts to destabilize the party through fake reports. The political crisis in Rivers State took a new turn on Sunday as key figures, including Minister of the FCT Nyesom Wike and suspended Governor Siminalayi Fubara, were absent at the farewell Thanksgiving service of sole administrator Vice Admiral Ibok Ete Ibas, retired. Addressing dignitaries, Ibas urged stakeholders to place the state's interest above partisan battles, warning that Rivers cannot afford another season of division and acrimony. Appointed on March 18th by President Bola Tinubu during the state of emergency, Ibas said his administration weathered turbulent days but achieved stability, peace, and local government elections. He appealed to youths to shun violence and called on elders and faith leaders to nurture reconciliation. According to him, forgiveness and unity remains the only path to progress and prosperity in Rivers State. While several traditional rulers also stayed away, the event drew attendance from permanent secretaries, local government chairmen, agency heads, and security chiefs across the states. The Federal Inland Revenue Service has dismissed reports that Nigerians must obtain a separate tax identification number before operating bank accounts. The clarification follows widespread reports suggesting that from January 2026, Nigerians would be required to present a TIN to access banking services, sparking concerns about new bureaucratic hurdles. In a post on her official X handle, Arabirin Aderonke Atoyebi, technical assistant on broadcast media to the FIRS chairman, Zach Adedeji, describes the claims as misleading. She explained that the TIN, a 13-digit identifier, is automatically linked to the National Identification Number for individuals and Corporate Affairs Commission records for businesses. According to her, once citizens provide their NIN during account opening or KYC processes, the system automatically retrieves their TIN, eliminating the need for a separate registration. The agency insists the new tax framework integrates seamlessly with existing registries such as the National Identification Number and Corporate Affairs Commission records. The FIRS says the reforms are aimed at simplifying tax compliance, not complicating access to financial services. The National Emergency Management Agency has carried out an on-the-spot assessment of households affected by a devastating storm in Akija community, Sokoto's South local government area. Led by NEMA Planning Officer Tuko Abubakar, the team evaluated the extent of damage caused by the heavy downpour and windstorm that left many residents homeless. Community members expressed gratitude for the agency's swift response, saying it renewed their hope of receiving relief materials and government assistance. Joining the team, the member representing Sokoto South constituency, Honorable Aminu Gidado Jegawa, commended NEMA's timely intervention. He urged the agency to extend similar assessments to other wards recently hit by floods and storms. Jagawa assured victims that he would present their plight before the State House of Assembly to mobilize for the support. NEMA says Sunday's assessment is part of broader efforts to cushion the impact of recurrent national disasters across Sokoto and other northern states battling flooding and windstorms. You're watching our daily news roundup. On the other side, the foreign news comes up. To stay tuned.
When the lights go out, who do you call? Ticado! Ticado Energy Solutions Limited. Your plug for electrical power, surveillance system, and entertainment. From expert electrical installation to efficient eco-friendly solar inverter systems, no matter the size, Ticado delivers smart energy solutions designed for today and tomorrow. We also help you secure your space with our cutting-edge security and surveillance system. Enjoy crystal clear entertainment with our professional DSTV and cable TV installation. Visit Ticado today at Block F4, Suite 41 and 42, HFP East Line Plaza, Abraham Adesanya, Aja, Lagos. Or call 0906 902 5025 or 0815 176 6817. Explore our services at ticado.com.ng. Ticado Energy Solutions Limited. Power, protection, peace.
Welcome back. On the foreign scene, a UK medical tribunal has heard shocking details of how a consultant anesthetist, Dr. Sohail Anjum, abandoned a patient under anesthetic to have sex with a nurse at Tameside Hospital, Greater Manchester. Dr. Anjum reportedly told colleagues he needed a comfort break during an operation and left a fellow medic to monitor the patient. Instead, he went into another theater where he engaged in a sexual act with a nurse identified only as Nurse C. He was caught in a compromising position by a shocked staff member who later reported the incident. No harm came to the patient, but the General Medical Council prosecutor described the incident as a serious breach of professional conduct. Dr. Anjum admitted the allegations, calling his behavior shameful. He apologized to colleagues, patients, and the public, blaming the lapse on a stressful period in his personal life. The tribunal has adjourned and will continue hearings on Friday. The United States and Europe remain divided on how best to weaken Russia's war efforts in Ukraine. Washington is urging G7 allies and the EU to impose new tariffs on China and India for purchasing Russian oil, revenues the U.S. says are fueling Vladimir Putin's war machine. President Trump insists tariffs are the fastest way to force Moscow to the negotiating table, but Brussels prefers direct sanctions on Russia and its financial partners. The EU is finalizing its 19th sanctions package, while Britain has targeted more than 100 Russian tankers, firms, and individuals. Analysts warn the divide could complicate Western unity as the war enters its fourth year. Away from the foreign scene now to sports news, Paris Saint-Germain maintained their perfect start to the Ligue 1 season with a 2-0 win over Lens on Sunday, thanks to a brace from Bradley Barcola. Barcola struck in the first half with a stunning 20-year collar before sealing the points with another strike just after the break. But the win came at a cost for coach Luis Enrique, who lost Skicha Kvaratskhelia, Lee Kang-in, and Lucas Beraldo to injury, adding to a growing list of sidelined stars. Enrique, however, insisted the team can adapt. Kvaratskhelia calf problem is a particular concern ahead of Wednesday's Champions League clash with Atalanta. Elsewhere, 18-year-old Ethan Mbappe, younger brother of Kylian, scored deep into stoppage time to give Lille a 2-1 comeback victory over Toulouse. Mbappe, who joined Lille last year after leaving PSG, volleyed home in the 98th minute to complete the dramatic turnaround after Nabil Bentaleb's penalty had drawn them level. The win briefly took Lille top of the table on 10 points before PSG reclaimed first place later in the evening. Manchester United manager Ruben Amorim has vowed not to abandon his preferred 3-4-3 system despite mounting pressure after a 3-0 derby defeat to Manchester City. United have picked up just 4 points from their opening 4 Premier League matches and were recently knocked out of the League Cup by 4th-tier Grimsby Town. Since taking over in November last year, Amorim has managed only 8 wins in 31 league games, with United finishing 15th last season. Speaking after Sunday's defeat, Amorim admitted the record was unacceptable, but insisted he won't compromise on his philosophy. Despite a £200 million investment in new forwards, United have scored just 4 goals this season, 2 on goals, 1 penalty and 1 from open play. Amorim said he is suffering more than the fans, but pledged to fight on. For now, the club hierarchy continues to back him, but with results dwindling, the pressure is mounting fast at Old Trafford. And with that sports news, we come to the end of our daily news roundup for today, right here on Atlantic TV. Do also follow us on all our social media platforms for more news updates and stories. Thank you so much for watching. I am Nkechi Tejere. Have a pleasant day.